How did one girl's trip to New York turn into me getting served papers in my office lobby? Why did my husband stop talking, stop arguing, and then answer me in public with something I could not talk my way out of? My name is Ligeia Camden, and I always believed I was the reasonable one in my marriage. I worked hard. I kept our life moving. I made plans. Evan liked routines and quiet. I liked air, noise, and people. When he looked worried, I told myself it was because he wanted to hold me down. That week started like many other weeks. The kitchen smelled like toast and dish soap. Tessa sat at the counter with a pencil and a workbook. Evan stood by the sink, rinsing a cup too long, like the cup had done something wrong. I watched him and felt annoyed before he even spoke. He asked what time my work dinner was on Friday. I said it was late because my team had a deadline. He asked why Mary was coming if it was work. I said Mary was my friend, and I could mix things if I wanted. He asked if it was really about work or about getting away. I said he was acting like my manager, not my husband. He went quiet, then asked about New York again. He had asked about it 3 times already, in 3 different ways. He said he did not like the trip. He said Mari pushed me into things. He said it was not about the city, but about how I acted when I was with her. He asked if I could just skip it this time. I told him he was jealous. I told him he was scared of me having a life. I told him he should trust me or stop pretending he loved me. I said it calmly, like I was giving a helpful lesson. In my head, it sounded strong. In the room, it sounded sharp. He asked what he had done to lose trust. I said nothing, but that he was always making problems. He asked if I had talked to Noah again. I said Noah was a work contact, and Evan was being paranoid. He asked why Noah's name made me angry. I said it was because Evan kept trying to turn normal things into dirty things. The truth was simple, but I did not want to touch it. The truth was that Noah made me feel seen in a way that felt easy. He did not ask about homework sheets or grocery lists. He did not look tired when I walked into a room. He looked curious. That was what I told myself anyway. Evan wiped his hands and leaned on the counter. He asked what boundaries meant to me. I said boundaries meant he stopped checking my mood. He asked if boundaries also meant I stopped hiding messages. I said I did not hide messages. I just did not report every small talk like I was on probation. Tessa looked up from her workbook. She asked if we were fighting. I said we were not fighting. We were just talking. Evan said we were just talking too, and his voice sounded careful, like he was stepping around glass. I hated that tone. It made him sound like the adult and me like the problem. After breakfast, I walked Tessa to the car and watched Evan lock the front door behind us. He usually kissed my cheek. That morning, he did not. He just asked if I could be on time for pickup later. I said I was always on time. He nodded once, like he was marking a box, not trusting me. On the drive, my phone buzzed with Mari's name. Her group chat was loud, even in the morning. I saw the preview on the screen. Mari wrote that New York would be no rules, no babysitting husbands, and no guilt. I smiled, then felt a small sting in my chest. I did not like the word husbands in that message. It made it sound like I was escaping a cage. I typed back fast. I wrote that we deserved fun, and that men always tried to scare women out of joy. I added a laughing emoji. I stared at my message for a second. It sounded bold. It also sounded like I was making a case for something I had already decided. At lunchtime, I called my mother. I wanted her voice because she always agreed with me first. She asked how Evan was behaving. I said he was being controlling again. I said he did not want me to travel because he did not trust me. She said men did that when they knew they could not compete. She said I should not let a small man shrink me. I repeated her words in my head like a chant. My sister Erin texted later and asked if I was seriously going to New York with Mari. I said yes. She asked if Evan was okay with it. I said he did not need to be okay. He needed to stop acting like my father. Erin asked if I heard myself. I said she was being dramatic. I put my phone face down like Evan did, and I felt powerful for copying him. That evening, Evan cooked pasta while I checked flight prices on my phone. He asked if I could do it later. I said I was just browsing. He asked why I was smiling at my screen. I said I was allowed to smile. He asked if I could promise him something simple, like being home before midnight every night in New York. I said he was turning a trip into a contract. He said he did not want rules. He wanted respect. I said, respect follows results, and I had results. I said I kept the house running. I said I made sure bills were paid. I said I did not owe him a curfew like a teenager. He asked if I heard how that sounded. I said he was twisting my words. After dinner, he sat at the table with his phone open. I thought he was scrolling news or checking sports. Instead, I saw a clean calendar view with blocks of time. He tapped one reminder and looked at it too long. I caught a glimpse of the title before he turned the phone slightly. It said something like meeting, personal, and it had a time in the morning. It meant nothing to me, but it also felt like he had a separate life on a separate track. He noticed me looking. He asked what I wanted. I said I was just surprised he had time for personal meetings when he claimed he was so busy. He said it was nothing. He set the phone face down. He did not defend it. That bothered me more than an argument. Later, when Tessa was in bed, I tried a softer tone. I told Evan that he was overthinking. I said Mari was just loud, not dangerous. I said New York was a city, not a trap. I said I needed to feel like myself again. He asked what myself meant. I said it meant not being questioned all the time. He asked if I could at least share our hotel name and Mari's full plan. I said he was acting like a private detective. He said he was acting like a husband who felt pushed out. I told him he was doing it to himself. I told him if he trusted me, he would not need details. He stood up slowly, like he was tired in his bones. He asked if I still loved him. I said love was not the issue, his control was the issue. He nodded again, that same small nod, like he was taking notes without paper. Then he walked upstairs without another word. I stayed on the couch and opened Mari's chat again. The words, no rules, sat there like a dare. I told myself Evan had forced my hand by being jealous. I still think that logic makes sense in the moment. Then my phone buzzed with a new message, and I saw Noah's name light up my screen. By morning, I had already decided what the story would be. If Evan complained, it was control. If he asked questions, it was suspicion. If he stayed quiet, it was punishment. I did not see myself as the cause of anything. I saw myself as the one reacting. At work, the open plan office felt loud in a safe way. People typed, laughed, and moved around with coffee cups. Nobody looked at me like they expected a report. Nobody asked if I was home by 9. I liked that. I told my coworker Paige that I was planning a quick trip. She asked where. I said New York. She smiled and said it sounded fun. Then I added that my husband was weird about it. I did not say he had a point. I said he got jealous easily. I said he did not like me having friends. I kept my voice light, like I was sharing a funny problem. Paige asked if Evan was strict. I said he could be. I said he acted like a guard sometimes. I made a small face like I was embarrassed for him. Paige shook her head and said that sounded exhausting. That was the reaction I wanted. It made me feel clean. At my desk, my phone buzzed again. It was Noah. He asked if I was still coming to the city. He said he could get us into a rooftop place. He said it was good for content if Mari wanted photos. I told him maybe, and I told him I would see. I did not say no. I also did not say yes. I liked living in that middle space where I could pretend I had not chosen yet. Evan texted around noon. He asked if we could talk after work without Tessa around. I said sure, and I added a smiley face, like that made it kind. He asked if I had booked anything. I said not yet. That was not true, but it was almost true, which is what I told myself, because I had already opened flight pages that morning. I had clicked dates. I had filled in names. I had stared at the final button like it was a dare. My finger did not tremble. I bought 2 tickets under my name, one for me and one for Mari, because Mari said she would pay me back. I told myself that was normal. I told myself married women did not have to ask permission for travel. I told myself Evan would calm down when he saw I was serious. The confirmation email came in fast. I felt a small rush, like I had won something. Then I noticed the payment line, and my stomach tightened. I saw the last 4 digits of a card I did not recognize. For a second, I thought I had clicked the wrong option. Then I remembered that the website saved old cards, and I had not checked. I told myself it was probably our joint card in a different format. I told myself it did not matter because money was money in a marriage. Still, I deleted the email from my main inbox and moved it to a folder. I told myself that was just organization. People did that all the time. After work, Mari met me near the elevator. She was in bright lipstick and a short jacket, like she was already in another city. She asked if I was ready to feel alive. I said yes. She asked if Evan was still acting like a prison warden. I said he was. I said he kept asking questions. Mari rolled her eyes and said, men always wanted to sit on women like weights. We went to a wine bar not far from my office. The place was dim, with music that made people lean close. 2 of Marie's friends were there, plus a couple from her salon. Everyone talked over each other. It felt like a warm wave that carried me away from my kitchen fights. Marie told them about New York. She said we were doing a girls' trip. Someone asked if Evan was okay with it. Mari laughed and said Evan did not have to be okay. She said I was not his child. Everyone laughed like it was a joke, but I felt it like support. I added my own version. I said Evan did not like me going anywhere without him. I said he acted nervous when I dressed up. I said he tried to make me feel guilty for wanting fun. I did not say he was asking for basic respect. I did not say he wanted me to come home safe. I made it sound like he wanted me small. One of Mari's friends asked if Evan checked my phone. I said he did not, but I said he wanted to. I said he asked who I talked to, and I said it made me feel watched. I watched their faces as they reacted. I saw sympathy and disgust aimed in his direction. That felt like power. Evan called while I was at the bar. I let it ring once too long. Then I answered with my bright voice. He asked where I was. I said I was with Mari, just talking. He asked why the background was loud. I said it was just a restaurant. He asked if we could talk later at home. I said yes, and I said he should not start anything tonight. He asked what start anything meant. I said it meant turning my evening into a trial. He went quiet. Then he said he only wanted to understand. I told him understanding was not the same as control, and I said he was mixing them. He said he would talk later, and he ended the call first. Mari watched me and smirked. She asked if he was mad. I said he was trying to be calm, but I said it was fake calm. I said it was his way of making me look like the bad one. Mari said I should not let him play mind games. I almost laughed, because that was exactly what I was doing, but I did not say that. When I got home, the house was quiet. Tessa was asleep. Evan was at the table with his laptop open. He looked up and asked how my day was. I said it was fine. He asked if I had been drinking. I said I had 1 glass. He asked why I did not text that I would be late. I said I did not think I needed to report my minutes. He asked if I had booked the trip. I paused for half a second, then said yes. I said it like a proud fact. His face changed, but not in a dramatic way. He just blinked and nodded once. He asked for the dates. I told him. He asked where we were staying. I said I had not chosen yet. He asked if Noah would be there. I said Noah was a work contact, and I was tired of hearing his name. Evan said he was not accusing me. He was asking. I told him that asking was accusing. He closed his laptop, but I heard a soft beep first, like a file had synced somewhere. I saw a spreadsheet open for a second, full of rows and numbers, no clear title. He angled the screen away before I could read anything. He asked if we could agree on one thing: no posting men in our photos. I laughed and asked if he wanted to approve my camera roll. He said he wanted respect. I told him respect was earned, and I said he had been acting small. His jaw tightened. Then he relaxed it again, like he was practicing calm. He asked if I would call him each night in New York so Tessa could say goodnight. I said of course, like I was generous. He thanked me, and his thanks felt wrong, like it belonged to another couple. When I went upstairs, I noticed the bedroom door was not fully open. Evan had left it slightly pulled in, like a quiet boundary. I stood there and listened to the house. No shouting, no begging, just silence and the faint sound of him moving papers somewhere, careful and slow, like he was sorting normal life into neat stacks. I left for New York on a Thursday morning, like I was leaving for a better version of my life. I told myself it was only a trip. I told myself people traveled all the time. I told myself Evan would calm down when I came back smiling. At the airport, Mari acted like the world was a stage. She said we should take a photo by the gate sign. I said we could, and I angled the camera so my wedding ring did not catch the light. Mari asked why I did that, and I said it was just the glare. She laughed and said I was still letting Evan live in my head. I said he was the one obsessed, not me. Evan did not come to drop me off. He had said he had work. He had also said he would take Tessa to school. He had asked me to text when I landed. I said I would. He asked me to let Tessa hear my voice before I boarded. I said the terminal was loud, but I called anyway. Tessa asked if New York had snow. I said maybe, and I told her I would bring her something small. Evan asked if I had a safe plan to get from the airport to the hotel. I said Mari handled it. He asked for the hotel name again. I said we were still deciding because Mari wanted to compare prices. He paused, then asked if I could just send the address later. I said yes, like it was easy even though I already knew the hotel name, and I did not want him to have it. When we got on the plane, I watched other couples. Some held hands, some slept on each other's shoulders. I told myself those couples were boring. I told myself I was not built for boring. Still, I felt a tightness when the plane lifted, like I was leaving something behind that I might need later. In the city, the hotel lobby smelled like perfume and polished stone. Mari said it felt like a movie. I said it did, and I let myself enjoy it. I sent Evan a short text that I landed. I did not send a photo. I did not send the hotel name. I told myself he did not deserve extra details because he had acted jealous. In my head, I made it sound fair. Noah texted a few hours later. He asked if we were in Manhattan already. I said yes. He asked if we wanted to meet at a rooftop place around 9. I said I was not sure. Mari leaned over and read the message like my phone belonged to both of us. She asked who it was, and I said it was a contact who knew good spots. She asked if he was cute. I said it did not matter. She said it always mattered. We spent the afternoon walking and shopping. Mari made me try on a dress I would never wear at home. She said I looked like a woman who did not ask permission. I said I did not ask permission, and I meant it. I also knew I was lying by leaving parts out. I kept checking my phone for Evan's name, like I wanted him to chase me. When he did not, I felt both proud and angry. Evan texted at dinner time. He asked if I could call so Tessa could say goodnight. I called. Tessa asked what I ate. I said pizza even though it was a salad, because pizza sounded fun. Evan asked if we were staying in. I said yes, and I said we were tired. He asked if I was posting pictures. I said maybe 1 or 2, nothing crazy. He said he was not telling me what to do. He was asking me to remember we were a family. I told him I remembered, and I ended the call fast. Mari looked at me and asked why I sounded cold. I said I was just tired. She said I should stop letting him set the mood from far away. She said I should live. I told her I was living. Then I opened Noah's message again. At 9, we went out. The rooftop was loud and bright. with heat lamps and glass railings. The skyline made everyone act like they were part of something important. Mari took videos of strangers and posted them. I stood close to her and told myself I was safe because I was with my friend. That was the story I liked. Noah arrived like it was normal. He smiled like he already knew me well. He asked how the trip was. I said it was perfect. He asked where Evan thought I was. I said Evan knew I was with Mari. Noah asked if Evan asked questions. I said Evan always asks questions. Noah said some men could not handle women having choices. I agreed too quickly. Mari introduced herself to Noah like she was a host. She asked what he did. He said he shot events and helped people get into places. Mari said that was useful. She asked if he could take a few photos of us for memories. He said yes, and he raised his camera. I stood in a pose that made me look single, and I told myself that was just confidence. Noah asked if we wanted to go somewhere quieter after. I said maybe. Mari squeezed my arm and said it was my trip and I deserved attention. I told myself it was not cheating if it was only talking. I told myself Evan had pushed me here with his jealousy. I told myself I was reacting, not choosing. At one point, Noah stood close enough that I could smell his cologne. He asked if I was happy at home. I said home was stressful. He asked if Evan valued me. I said Evan valued control. Noah said I deserve better. I did not correct him. I posted one photo anyway. It was me and Mari with the skyline behind us, but Noah's shoulder was in the corner. It looked like an accident. Mari said it was fine. She said Evan could not complain about a shoulder. I believed her because I wanted to. A few minutes later, Evan texted. He did not ask where I was. He did not ask who was with me. He only wrote that he put Tessa's lunch in the fridge and that she had asked to sleep with her hallway light on. He added that she said she missed me. That was it. I stared at his message longer than I expected. I wanted anger from him. I wanted him to sound desperate. Instead, he sounded like a schedule. It made me feel unseen, and I hated him for it. I wrote back that I missed Tessa too. I added a heart. Then I put my phone away and told myself Evan was trying to punish me with calm. I told myself I would not fall for it. Later, Mari and I walked along the river because the night felt warm. The water looked black and still. Mari talked about how men always came running back. She said Evan would beg when I returned. I said he would. I said I knew him. But I kept thinking about that short text. It was so plain. It was like Evan was practicing not needing me. Back in the hotel room, Mari fell asleep fast. I lay in my bed with the city noise outside. My phone showed a missed call from an unknown number. There was no voicemail. I told myself it was spam. Then I saw another notification under it, a quiet one, saying, "File uploaded successfully from my shared cloud app." I did not open it. I just stared, and my stomach turned, as if the city had suddenly moved under me. I came home on Sunday evening with shopping bags and a tired smile, like I had done something brave. I expected Evan to meet me at the door with a tight face and a list of questions. I expected noise. I expected a fight I could win by calling him jealous. Instead, the house felt quiet in a cold way. The lights were on, but the air did not feel warm. Tessa ran to me first and wrapped her arms around my waist. She asked if I brought her something. I said I did, and I handed her a small snow globe keychain. She smiled, then asked why Dad did not come to hug me too. Evan stood near the hallway, not too close, not too far. He looked at me like I was a neighbor who had entered the wrong home. He asked if my flight was okay. I said it was fine. He asked if I ate. I said yes. He asked if I was tired. I said a little. The question sounded polite, like a customer service script. I asked why he was acting like that. He said he was not acting. He said he was just keeping the house calm for Tessa. I told him he was giving me the silent treatment. He said he was speaking when needed. I told him he was trying to punish me. He said he was trying to be stable. That word made me angry. Stable sounded like a compliment he gave himself. I wanted him to look messy, so I could feel clean. In the kitchen, I noticed 2 mugs on the counter, placed far apart, like they belonged to 2 different homes. My usual mug was near the sink. Another mug sat near the coffee machine. Evan had never cared about mug placement. I cared now because it looked like a message. I asked where he slept while I was gone. He said the guest room helped him rest. I walked past the guest room later and saw the bed slightly disturbed, like it was used more than once. A blanket was folded with sharp corners. On the nightstand, there was a sticky note that said, "Bring forms." There was no name, no letterhead, nothing official. Still, my stomach tightened. I told myself it was probably for work. At bedtime, Tessa asked if we could all read together. Evan said yes. I sat on the edge of her bed and opened the book. Evan stood by the door instead of sitting with us. Tessa asked why he was far away. Evan said he did not want to block the light. I said he was being dramatic. Evan did not answer me. He only told Tessa good night and turned on the hallway light. When Tessa fell asleep, I followed Evan downstairs. I asked if he was still mad about the trip. He said it was not about being mad. He said he was thinking. I asked what he was thinking about. He said he was thinking about what was best for the house and for Tessa. I laughed a little and said I was also part of the house. He said yes, but his eyes did not match the word. I asked if he wanted me to apologize. He asked what I would be apologizing for. I said for hurting his feelings. He asked if I thought it was only feelings. I said yes, because I needed it to be yes. He asked about the rooftop photos. I said it was just a city view. He asked whose shoulder was in the corner. I said it was a stranger. He asked why Noah texted me at midnight on Friday. I froze for half a second. Then I said he was sending a restaurant tip. Evan nodded like he believed me, but he did not look convinced. He asked if I could show him the message. I said he was not allowed to demand my phone. He said he was not demanding. He said he was asking because he needed clarity. I said he needed therapy, not clarity. I told him he was obsessed with proving I was bad. He said he was not trying to prove anything. He said he was trying to know what was real. The next day, I went back to work and acted like I was glowing. In the break room, Paige asked how New York was. I said it was amazing. I added that Evan was still being weird about it. Paige asked if he was giving me trouble. I said he was punishing me with silence because he could not control me. I said it in a calm voice, like I was a victim of something heavy. Paige frowned and said that sounded unhealthy. I nodded like I had expected her to say that. At lunch, Erin called me. She asked if I was okay. I said I was fine. She asked if Evan was okay. I said Evan was being cold. Erin asked what happened in New York, in a way that felt too direct. I said nothing happened. Erin said she did not believe me. I told her she always took Evan's side because she liked nice guys. Erin said I was rewriting my own story. I hung up before she could finish. That weekend, my mother invited us to a family restaurant. She said it would reset the mood. I agreed because I wanted witnesses. I wanted Evan in a room where he could not raise his voice. Not that he ever did, but I liked the idea anyway. I told myself I was protecting myself. At the long table, my mother talked loudly about travel and freedom. She asked me about New York like it was a victory parade. I told stories that sounded harmless. I said we walked a lot. I said we ate street food. I said I bought a dress. My mother asked if Evan was finally okay with it. Evan said he was glad I arrived safe. That was all. My mother laughed and asked why he sounded like a robot. Mary was there too, sitting beside me, smiling like she owned the night. Mary said Evan should be happy I had friends. My mother said some men could not handle women with confidence. They both looked at Evan like he was a joke. I joined in because the room was warm, and I liked being carried by it. I said Evan always made everything serious. I said he acted like I needed a babysitter. I said jealousy was not love. People laughed. My father smiled weakly and looked down at his plate. Erin stayed quiet and did not laugh. Evan did not defend himself. He did not insult me. He did not even roll his eyes. He just cut his food into small pieces and listened. That calm made me feel exposed. I pushed harder. I said Evan ignored me for days like a child. Evan looked up and asked, in a simple tone, if I wanted to talk about the real issue at the table. I said the real issue was his control. Evan said he had not controlled me at all, and that was the problem. My mother asked what he meant. Evan said he did not want to debate in front of Tessa, and he turned his head toward her and asked if she wanted dessert. Tessa asked why everyone sounded sharp. I told her we were just joking. Evan told her she could pick the dessert. Tessa chose ice cream, and Evan signaled the server with a polite hand. When we got home, I tried to corner Evan in the kitchen. I asked why he embarrassed me by acting calm in front of my family. He said he did not embarrass me. He said he was careful for Tessa. I said he was making me look like the bad one. He said I was doing that on my own. I walked past the hallway closet and heard a soft click, like a locked drawer closing. I turned and saw Evan's hand leave the small cabinet we never used. He said he was putting away documents. I asked what documents. He said household things. I told myself he was trying to scare me. I told myself it was a show. Still, that night, when I lay in bed and listened, I heard a faint shredder hum from downstairs, just for a few seconds, like someone cleaning up a mess in a careful way. I tried to act normal the next week, but I did not feel normal. Evan's quiet sat in the rooms like a second person. It was not loud quiet. It was planned quiet. He did not slam doors. He did not throw words. He just moved through the day like he had a map I could not see. On Monday morning, I came downstairs and saw a new key on his ring. It was small and plain. I asked what it was for. He said it was for a storage unit for house stuff. I asked why we needed that. He said we had too much clutter and he wanted space. I said he was being dramatic. He said he was being practical. He packed Tessa's lunch with careful hands. He asked if I could do pickup on Wednesday because he had a meeting. I asked what meeting. He said personal. I asked if it was therapy. He said it was not. I asked if it was work. He said it was not work either. His answers were short, like a wall made of small bricks. At work, I told myself I would win back the room. I went into the break room with my coffee and my best smile. Paige asked if things were better at home. I said Evan was still doing the silent treatment. Paige asked if I felt safe. I said yes, but I said silence could be emotional abuse too. I watched Paige's face change. I liked that change. It made me feel protected. Later, my manager called me for a quick word. He asked if everything was okay, because someone had mentioned issues at home. I said I was fine. I said I was just stressed because my husband was jealous. I said I did not want it to affect my work. He nodded and said he hoped things improved. I walked out feeling like I had placed a shield in front of me. That afternoon, Noah texted me. He asked if I missed the city. I said I missed the feeling. He asked if Evan was still upset. I said Evan was acting cold. Noah said cold men were the same as controlling men. I said yes, like it was obvious. He asked if I wanted to meet again soon, somewhere closer. I said maybe. My hands moved fast over the screen. Then I deleted the chat preview from my lock screen settings and told myself it was privacy. When I got to the parking garage after work, Evan was there in our car. He was early. He usually was not. He asked if I could talk for 10 minutes before we picked up Tessa. I said yes, but I said he better not start blaming me. He said he did not want blame. He said he wanted facts. That word made my stomach twist. Facts were dangerous when I was living on feelings. He asked if I had been honest about Noah. I said yes. He asked if I would be willing to stop messaging him. I said Evan could not tell me who to talk to. He said he was not telling. He said he was asking for respect. I said he only called it respect when it served him. He looked forward through the windshield, then asked if I knew what respect looked like to him. I said it looked like me staying small, and I laughed like it was clever. He did not laugh. He asked if I could answer one simple thing. Had anything happened in New York that I would hide if Tessa asked later? I felt heat in my face. I said Tessa did not need adult details. He said that was not an answer. I said he was using our child like a weapon. He said he was trying to keep her safe from confusion. I told him he was acting like a lawyer. He said he was acting like a father. Then he started the car and drove, calm hands on the wheel, like I was not shaking inside. That night, I tried a different tactic. I decided to be sweet. I cooked his favorite meal. I put my hair up the way he used to like. When he came into the kitchen, I smiled and asked if we could reset. He asked what reset meant. I said it meant we stopped punishing each other. He said he was not punishing me. He said he was choosing what to give energy to. I told him he was being cold on purpose. He said he was being careful on purpose. I asked if he still loved me. He said love was not a switch, but trust was. I told him he was making trust into a weapon. He said I made it into a game first. I tried to touch his arm. He stepped back, not like fear, but like a line. He asked if we could keep things calm for Tessa. I said I was calm. He said calm was not just a voice, it was choices. That sounded like a lesson. I hated lessons. So I flipped again, fast. I asked if he wanted me out. He said he wanted stability. I asked if he wanted divorce. He did not answer right away. He asked if I could agree to communicate about Tessa through messages only, so there were no misunderstandings. I said that was insane. He said it was simple. The next day, I told my mother what Evan said. I said he was trying to control me with rules. My mother said I should take Tessa to her house for a while and let Evan panic. I liked that idea because it sounded like power. When I brought it up, I did it like a threat wrapped in care. I told Evan I might stay at my mom's for space. He asked if Tessa had school the next day. I said yes. He said then it did not make sense to move her around. He said if I needed space, I could take space, but Tessa needed routine. He said he could do the morning, and I could do the evening, as long as we were clear. I stared at him. He was not scared. He was not begging. He was planning. That evening, I heard a phone alarm from the hallway. It was not mine. It was Evan's. It said something like paper drop in a flat tone. I walked past his office and saw his laptop open for a second. There were tabs up that looked like delivery tracking, a notary near me, and storage options. He clicked them away when he saw me. He asked if I needed something. I said no, but my voice came out thin. Later, I went to the cabinet by the hallway again. I heard the locked drawer click. I tried the handle after he left the room. It did not open. I told myself it was just taxes. Still, my hands shook like I was the one doing something wrong. On Friday, I got a message from Mary. She said she hoped things calmed down at home. She did not say Evan is crazy this time. She did not offer to talk. She sounded careful, like she wanted distance. I realized my fun friend did not want my mess. That night, I confronted Evan in the kitchen. I told him his silence was cruel. I told him he was trying to destroy me slowly. He asked if I wanted him to yell instead. I said at least yelling was honest. He said he could be honest without yelling. I said he was acting like a stranger. He said I treated him like a villain in front of strangers first. I said he deserved it because he made me feel trapped. He asked how he trapped me when I went to New York anyway. I opened my mouth and nothing clean came out. He wiped the counter and put the sponge away, slow and neat. Then he looked at me with tired eyes and said he was done arguing in circles. He said he would handle it properly. A few minutes later, my phone buzzed with an email from my office, asking me to come down to the lobby at a specific time on Monday for a visitor. On Monday, I dressed like I was going to win. I picked a blazer that made me look serious and a lipstick shade that said I was fine. I told myself the lobby thing was probably a delivery. Maybe Evan sent flowers as a weak apology. That thought made me feel better for a minute because it put me back on top. At breakfast, Evan did not look at my outfit. He packed Tessa's lunch like always. He asked if I could drop her at school because he had a meeting. I said yes. Tessa asked if Dad would come to her winter concert. Evan said yes, and his voice stayed calm. I waited for him to add something about me. He did not. In the car, I practiced my story in my head. If anyone asked, Evan was jealous and cold. Evan was punishing me. Evan was making me anxious. I repeated those lines like they were facts. When I arrived at the office, the lobby looked normal. People walked with badges and coffee. The security desk worker waved at me like always. My phone buzzed with a reminder from the front desk. A visitor at 10:30 a.m., please come down. My stomach tightened, but I told myself to stop being dramatic. At 10:28, my manager asked if I was okay. I said yes, and I smiled. At 10:30, I took the elevator down. I expected to see a courier. I expected a box. I saw Evan across the lobby, standing a few steps away from the security desk. He was not close enough to look like he was confronting me. He was not loud. He wore a plain button-down and held his hands in front of him, like he was waiting for a bus. Beside the desk stood a professional-looking person with a folder and a neutral face. They did not smile at me. They did not glare. They looked trained to feel nothing. My first thought was that Evan had come to embarrass me. My second thought was that he had come to beg. I walked toward them with my chin up, ready to be annoyed. Evan did not speak first. The person by the desk asked if I was Ligeia Camden. I said yes, and I tried to sound bored. They said they had documents for me. My heart kicked hard once. I looked at Evan, waiting for him to look ashamed. He did not look ashamed. He looked tired and steady. I told the person I did not accept anything. I said it was harassment. I said my husband was doing this to control me. The person said they only needed to confirm identity and deliver. They held the folder out, level and calm. Security watched. 2 people from my office stepped closer, not to help me, but to see what was happening. Evan finally spoke, and his voice stayed flat. He said he was not here to argue. He said this was the proper way. He said he would only talk about Tessa through messages going forward. He did not add insults. He did not call me names. He sounded like a policy. My face felt hot. I tried to laugh and said he was being dramatic. I said he was proving he was unstable. Evan did not react. The person said quietly that the papers included temporary orders and a schedule effective immediately. They said I should read them and follow them. I took the folder because everyone was watching, and I could not make a scene without looking guilty. My fingers shook, and I hated that they shook. I opened the first page just enough to see the key parts. I saw the word divorce. I saw temporary next to rules that were not temporary in how they felt. I saw that the joint accounts were restricted in certain ways starting today, and that large withdrawals would be flagged. I saw that I could not take Tessa out of state without written agreement. I saw that communication would be through an app, with a set tone, child-focused, no insults, no late-night chaos. It looked clean and sharp, like Evan had been building it while I was busy building stories. I looked up at him and asked how he could do this. I said he was trying to ruin me. Evan said he was trying to protect his life and his child. He said he was done being a character in my jokes. He said he had kept records because he needed to be accurate, not loud. Then he stopped talking again. I wanted to pull him into a private corner and make him feel guilty. I wanted to cry and make him soften. I wanted to say I was sorry without meaning it, just to stop the damage. But none of those moves worked in a lobby with cameras and a neutral person and witnesses who could see the folder in my hands. My manager asked if I needed a conference room. I said no, too fast. I saw the pity in his eyes. I hated him for that, even though he did nothing wrong. Evan nodded once, like a closing statement, and turned away. He walked out of the lobby at a normal speed, not rushing, not dragging. He did not look back. I stood there with the folder against my chest, feeling the weight of paper more than the weight of shame. And I realized the worst part was not that he filed. The worst part was that he did it calmly, in daylight, with rules that did not care about my excuses.